Hello everyone, this is Martin. Welcome back to another weekly video analysis. We're going to be looking at trading opportunities for this coming week, June 18th to the 22nd. And if you're following my weekly analysis for last week, you could have made over 380 pips. I'll review just a couple of those trades from last week on this week's video, so you'll take a look to see what I was looking at. And last week we did have 8 winners and 2 losers. Now, hello everyone, new subscribers from around the world. Welcome to the welcome to the weekly videos, and also a big hello to all my traders and loyal traders right here from the Greater Toronto area. We're talking about Toronto, Canada, the best country in the world. Anyways, let's get on to the disclaimer. Okay, just really quickly, this is the risk disclaimer here, and the first thing is that all the videos and every week I present to you a lot of information. It's for educational purposes. I want you to understand that. The main purpose of the weekly videos is to teach you, the viewer, to make independent investment decisions on your own, and I'm just kind of helping you out to see what a professional trader looks at and how I analyze the markets every week. So, most importantly, view the video at your own risk. Okay? And now we'll get on to the Euro USD. Okay, in my analysis, I always start off with the Euro USD chart. All the charts I'm sharing with you today, they are all the daily charts, which means that each candle that you see, these are called candlesticks, are 1 day's worth of price movement. So you can see what happened last week. I've got a big red arrow and a red vertical line. So we have the 5 trading days for last week. So you see, we have kind of a small little bullish pin bar right here. That's the Sunday, Monday trading. So the candles, each candle closes here at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we're using a charting package from our broker, and the end of the 24-hour cycle is 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is the New York close, when the New York markets close. Okay, so here's Sunday, Monday, here's Tuesday, Wednesday trading was an up day, Thursday, huge down day, and Friday, we had a bit of a rebound by the bulls, bringing price higher from this support area. These rectangles are support and resistance, okay? And for this week, I'm looking at buys above 118.12. Now, the price here is way up here, okay? Way up here. Price has to come all the way here for me to have a bias to the to the buy side. So if price does get up here, then I'm confident that the price will reverse and keep going higher. Now, for the downside, I'm looking at price to go below 115.36, looking for entries below there, okay? And you can see here, we use the easy read charts, okay? They're called easy read because the colors on the charts tell you what to do. So basically, when you see pink below blue, we're looking for a sell trade, and that's why we're looking for sells below 115.36. Now, however, you can see this huge down day on Thursday, okay? And to use my levels effectively, and I'm trying to teach you this, switch to a 4-hour chart. Okay, you can see the 4-hour chart, and what do you see? Well, we had a huge, price went down by quite a bit, hit the support. We are in a pullback, okay? So this is a pullback, and from here, price may still go higher up to this resistance with the gray rectangle, and if price breaks higher, it could even go all the way up to here, and then we could look for sells to the downside. So price could go higher and then down, price could go up higher, bounce off resistance and back down. Okay, so you can keep that in mind on the 4-hour charts, and I would suggest putting the levels on the daily, and then you can switch to the 4 hours, looking for the better entries. And on the 4-hour charts, I usually use 4 hours for entries because they give me specific strategy entries based on the new course and you'll get more information at the end of this video. The course is called Forex Success in 5 weeks. Okay, so now we get to the British Pound USD daily. Excuse me. And you can see what happened last week. Price basically went sideways a bit and then down. We had a big down day again on Thursday, and now price seems to be possibly reversing higher. Okay, and for me to have confidence that price will actually go higher and reverse this downward trend, I'd want to be, you see see how price didn't make a higher high here? So I'd want price to go above here, okay, and then the next resistance would be, see here, the consolidation of the moving averages. This is a very important moving average, the 200 SMA, okay, 200 simple moving average. So for price to go higher, look at buys above 134.54. For price to go lower, if you're looking for a sell trade, you could look at sells below 132.09. Okay, let me take it off. Switch the chart to the 4-hour, and you can see what's happening. We are also in a pullback, just like the Euro USD. So from here, price could actually go lower. There, price comes down to here or here. You could look at sells for really super aggressive sell entry. But if price goes above here, then again, you could be looking at price coming all the way up to this area here, okay, to the upside. So that's on the 4-hour chart. But again, you want to trade in the general direction as the long-term chart. Okay, let me take it off. The long-term is the daily. Okay, take a look. The daily, we're in a downtrend. Blue, pink below blue definitely means downtrend. Look for sell trades. And on the 4-hour chart, the lower time frame, what you want to do is just make sure that you see signal to the downside. Okay, so smaller charts, lower time frames for entries. Australian USD was one of our better producers last week. I had a buy above, a sell below 75.46. So in last week's video, I said to look for sells below 75.46, which is right about there. And guess what? You would have made some really good pips. In fact, last week it was good for 105 pips, one of the better producers. And hopefully a lot of you traders who are following my weekly analysis would have taken this trade and made those pips to the downside. Okay, so for this week, we have some tight levels. If price breaks through this major support zone, look for sells below 0.7406, and to the upside, price may certainly right here, excuse me, let me take that off. Price may from here bounce higher first, perhaps before coming back down. So higher above 0.7480. Okay, so let's go to the next chart. And gold, you can see on Friday, huge down day on Friday. Okay, and gold is often tied into the Australian currency. I'll go back. The Australian USD, you see, dropped quite a bit Thursday and Friday to a support level. Gold also fell quite a bit. So as gold goes, so does the Australian dollar a lot of times. Okay, just so there's a correlation there. Now we move to the New Zealand USD daily chart. Again, you see what happened last week. Again, a down Thursday and Friday, 2 big down days, and I see price continuing to go down further. So you could look at sells below 0.6934, and for price to go and reverse, price would take a look at all these candles. I'm always trying to teach you something every week, guys and gals. Take a look. These each candle here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 candles with really high upper wicks or shadows, indicating downward pressure. So when you see large upper shadows or wicks, that means that buyers are trying to take it up, sellers are taking it right back down. Buyers trying to take it up, sellers taking it down. A lot of pressure here at resistance, and finally price did come down lower. Okay, and that's pure price action. So again, I've got the levels in there. Sells below 0.6934. Okay, and again, if we were to go to a 4-hour chart, again, let me do something for you. Okay, I'm gonna draw in a. There we go. So for this week, I'm saying look for sells below 0.6934. Switch to the 4-hour. Okay, and again, you can see you could be looking at a retracement or just a continuation to the downside. Okay, so I've got that level, and when you look at the 4-hour, this gives you some reference. Okay, so let me go back to the daily. And now we go to the US CAD. Now, US CAD was a big mover last week to the upside, and last week's video, and guys, you can occasionally check out the previous week's video to see what I'm talking about. Last week's video, I told you to look for buys above 130.43. 130.43. Now, that is about there. Okay, I asked you to look for buys, and guess what? You would have made, based on my last week's analysis, you had the potential to make 154 pips. I believe that was the big winner for last week. So it was 1 out of 8 winners in total. So just by following my weekly analysis, you're able to do really well. And again, let's just switch back to the, let me take that off. I'm going to draw in a horizontal line, okay, because I want to show you something. Okay, let's draw a horizontal line about there. Okay, because I had said last week's video, buys about 130.43. So let me just bring that down a bit. 30, take a look. Take a look here. Okay, 30. Okay, here's 30.46. So we'll leave it at that. Switch to the 4-hour and take a look at this red vertical line. This is what happened last week on the trading day. So let's go to the 4-hour. Okay, let me just adjust this for a second. Okay, so you can see here, starting here last week, price never went up. It was just kind of going sideways, but placing a buy stop above my level would have gotten you in some really good pips. Okay, like I said, it was the big winner last week. In total, you could have made 154 pips. Okay, so back to the daily, and now let's go to oil. Oil went down completely. It's sitting at kind of a minor support right here, but it could come down all the way to this major support area right here. So this could be the target. If oil keeps going down, this could be the target. And if oil goes down, oil is often correlated with the Canadian dollar. So if oil is coming down, that means US dollar is going higher. And we have another level, and I failed to mention, the next level or the next target for the US CAD is this right here. And if you want to know what that is, you're looking at least up to 3290, 3300 to 3340. Okay, so right here, price could come down, and I've got this level here, and what that means is, let me just do something, and this is the daily chart. Remember, so price from here went up. You had 2 huge, massive days, Thursday and Friday of last week. Price could retrace, come back down to here to this area. This is a long-term trend line, and then could bounce higher. Okay, so we could have that kind of a pattern, and that's why I've got this arrow over here. So I'm actually not suggesting right now a buy above here. I'm actually suggesting waiting for a retracement and then looking for a bounce off the 131.24 level. Okay, so if we were going to look at the 4-hour chart, and let's take that off for a second, clear the screen. Okay, so I'm looking for, you see how price has gone up and up and up? It's basically, this is a freight train or a train that's just left the station, Try not to get in right now, because often when you get in at a when prices really left the station, you've missed the trade. Okay, you've missed a trade, so you've got to wait for a pullback. You see pullback, and then look for a bounce higher. Okay, so that's what I would be recommending. If you do take a trade, another entry, hoping that price will go higher, take a trade with a very small lot size, so that if things go the opposite way, you're not going to get burned. Okay, so if you take a continuation trade, wait for do it with a very small lot size, smaller than normal or smaller than your regular lot size. Wait for the retracement and then the bounce higher, right? That's what I would recommend. But here, right now, I teach you how to wait for retracements, look for specific entry signals, and then you would look to get into a buy trade. Right now, we don't actually have an entry buy signal. We would have to wait for price to come back. Okay? And I teach you that in the course called Forex Success in 5 weeks. Now, we're going to bounce right on to the next one, US Swiss franc. And this was a pretty good mover. Based on last week's recommendation, it also would have made you approximately 80 pips or more. Okay? That was last week. And for this week, you can see I'm looking for buys above 0.9986. There's still room to the upside. For sells, look at sells below 0.9817. Okay? US Japanese yen daily chart, you can see it is also from the previous week, it's bounced higher. Okay, we're going higher. And you can look for buys above 110.84. If you think price is going to go higher, take a look at your left, right here and here. We have the resistance. This is previous swing high. So if it goes higher, it might just go up to here, okay, and it then eventually break through the previous high. But right now I'm looking for buys above 110.84. To the downside, I'm looking for sells below 109.86. Okay, now we move to some of the cross pairs. The euro, British pound. For me, this was a loser last week. It lost about 45 pips because I had, based on the entry, I had a let me see here, a buy above 0.8805. So 0.8805. It was a buy above here. Okay, it did go up at first, but then the next day came down all the way. However, I would have been stopped out where? So if I got in there, I would have had a stop loss there. Okay, stop loss there, and I would have been stopped out. In this case, I stopped out for about 40. I'm just taking a look, 45 pips. Okay, not bad at all. So far, I've made lots of money. Made lots of pips, but this is the first loser of last week. So for this week, look at buys above 0.8784, sells below 0.8714. Okay, and if it goes below here, it's still got room to go to this support area, or this would be the first target. Right now, a price could be bouncing higher. You can see this trend line is holding. It's a long-term trend line, and let me take that off. Price has gone up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, bounced higher, and come back down. And is this bounce higher? Well, I've got my level there for you. So you just wait and see. Okay, you will have to have a little bit of patience to trade this pair. Now we move on to the Euro Japanese Yen, and this one is interesting because we made a lower low here to a support area. Okay, and you can see price is really bouncing up and down here. Here is previous resistance with the previous swing high. I've got this drawn in for you, the rectangle. So if you think price is going to go higher, look for buys above 130.38 and lower below 127.78. Okay, let me just take that off, clear the screen, and So you can just wait and have some patience there. Okay, and finally we move to the Euro Audi. Euro Audi last week was good for 36 pips. It was a buy above 155.53 last week. So 55.53 is about here. So you would have made some pips. And actually, you would have made a lot of pips here if you were doing 1-to-1. You would have gotten your take profit. You would have gotten out with a lot of pips. But if you would have held on to the trade, the next day, you see this big black candle, it came down, but your stop loss would have been here. So you would not have been stopped out. The next day, it went up again. So, you know, a small winner on that one. For this week, look at buys above 156.36 to the upside and sells below 154.26. Now we move to our last pair, the British pound, Japanese yen. And this one's an interesting pair because we had a huge, well, you can see here, down, up, down, right? So this is an ABCD pattern. We're going up again to a resistance. Right now, price is stuck. Price is stuck in a sideways channel. Okay, here's resistance with this gray rectangle. So if you think price is going to go higher, look for buys about 148.14 to the downside. Look for a break below, break outside of this channel to the downside below 146.16. Again, you would move to a lower time frame chart. And let me just quickly do that. Here's the 4-hour. And so you can see on the 4-hour, we are, this has been an uptrend, green above blue. I teach you that in the easy read charts. But we have pink below blue over here. So, all this means this is a pullback. We're not going anywhere because price really has not broken, this previous high here. Price has not broken this previous low. So you can see, up, down, up, down. Price could go higher here, come back down and finally break through, right? Let me just take that off because we're getting messed up here. But on the daily, let me just go back to the daily for a second. On the daily, we are in a downtrend. So the overall, we're in a downtrend, pink below blue. My bias is to the downside. However, anything can happen. So just look for a signal to the downside. And like I said, sells below 146.16. There's lots of room to go all the way down to this next target area or the previous swing low here. Okay, so as I mentioned at the end, if you're interested in my new course, Forex Success in 5 weeks, and also you would get the template and all the indicators for these charts that color codes the charts for you, making it easier for you to understand what's going on with price action, you certainly can email me anytime. My name is Martin for your free 33-page ebook, MSKYJ007 at gmail.com. And in the meantime, click on the subscribe button here on YouTube, and that way you'll make sure you get the weekly videos all the time. So take care, everyone. If you've got any good trading information, or you've made some good trades based on my charts, my weekly analysis, why don't you send me an email and just tell me what's going on. Tell me about some of the good trades that you've made, okay? And tell me how you're learning. I'd love to get some feedback for you. So take care. All the best. We'll see you again next week. Bye for now.